I reviewed the first three Spider-Man movies. And just to give you like a summary of what I thought about those movies, the first one I thought was just pretty good. The second one, better than the first, but I had some problems with it, just very minor problems, but I thought it was really good. And the third one was very funny bad. I really enjoyed that movie. Now, since I reviewed all of those three movies, I thought I could review Amazing Spider-Man. I haven't watched these movies in years, like since I was a kid, and as a kid, I quite like the movies. Rewatching it now, has my opinion changed of this movie? Yes. Quite a bit, actually. Because now the movie went from just being pretty good to just being mid. Nothing really wowed me about this movie. Like, it's not like Spider-Man 1 where there was a lot of unironically funny moments in it and Peter actually had a really good, well-written arc within it. This movie just feels like it's just trying to play it straight, and that's very weird to say for a Spider-Man movie. Don't get me wrong, there are some things that I liked about it, like Andrew Garfield and the CGI, but everything else was just kinda meh or just didn't make any sense. But like I said, there are some things that I like about it and some things I don't like about it, and I want to talk about those things. So let's get into it. Like I said, I do have problems with this movie. Specifically, three things. The stuff with Peter Parker's parents are stupid. His costume looks very dumb. Plus, this movie feels very tonally off in a lot of moments. But first, I want to talk about the things that I actually liked about it. Like the CGI. The CGI looked really good in this movie. Like, Peter's swinging in this movie is actually really well done for 2012. Now, I'm not trying to knock 2012 CGI, but it's like, it still didn't look all that great even with how much they tried to make it look good. And the thing is, this movie was competing with the Avengers, the first Avengers, and the CGI in that movie with the Hulk, it did look pretty good, but it's just like, it didn't look amazing. Also, another thing to note, The Dark Knight Rises also came out in 2012, so three superhero movies were trying to compete with each other during that time. Like, surprisingly, the Lizard was really well animated. I really liked his design. He looks really good for 2012 animation and just design overall. My only problem with his design is that I wish they kept like the lab coat or like the purple pants. Like, I really thought that would have looked good with some moments where they're trying to be very comic book goofy with some of their moments in it. Even the fight scenes between Peter and, the Lizard are also really well done. I just really enjoyed the CGI and I was kind of surprised with how much it held up. Another thing I liked about it, Andrew Garfield's acting. Some people say about this movie is that like it's a completely different take on Peter Parker's, nerdiness and social awkwardness, and it's just like, yeah, kinda, but not completely. Peter is still a very socially awkward guy within this movie. Like, he clearly does not know how to talk to people properly. It is very weird. But in this movie, he's not like a socially awkward nerd that just gets bullied and doesn't know how to talk to people because of it. Peter in this movie is a socially awkward loner that so happens to be smart, because he skates, he does photography, but he's just kind of to himself most of the time anyways, and you can see that in his mannerisms when he's talking to people that he just doesn't know, or when he's talking to a girl he doesn't know either. And Andrew Garfield really does portray Peter Parker in a really good way, even if the movie doesn't portray, Peter Parker in an amazing way, which I'll get into that later. But yeah, I just thought Andrew Garfield's acting was just really good in this movie. Alright, now time to get into the things that I really did not like about this movie. Number one, the stuff with Peter's parents is really fucking dumb. The only reason why the stuff with Peter Parker's parents is there is just to connect Peter to the main plot, which is him helping Dr. Connors with the experiment to see if they can help people regrow limbs. Blech. And without Peter's parents, work, without that, they probably would have never been able to do it. And that's all the connection is there. Like, that's all it is. Peter's parents have nothing to do with Peter's arc within the movie, which is learning responsibility, like in almost every Spider-Man movie. He's only curious about his parents because he's just because he finds the lab experiments, and then he just wants to see what they were about. And then once he's actually seeing what they're about and working with Connors, he starts to see the bad about it, and then he just tries to stop it. Nothing really connects Peter and his parents together all that properly. And like I said, it's only there to connect Peter to Connors, because Connors needed that research in order to continue his plans of, helping people regrow limbs. But without that paper, he wasn't able to do it. And Peter gave him the paper and the formula to be able to, make this happen. But in the end, his parents are barely even connected to it, because now Peter is more worried about Dr. Connors and what he's going to do with all the information that he has about regrowing limbs, especially when he sees that he's starting to descend into madness a little bit more. And the reason why I'm saying all this, because of it not only connecting to Peter's arc in the movie and it only being there to connect Peter to Connors, is because you could rewrite the story or just completely remove them from the story and nothing would really change. The only thing that you would really need to change is how Peter and Connors would get to know each other, which shouldn't be that difficult, because you could literally just have Connors just have this want to move humanity forward, and then once he starts getting the serum and stuff starting to go, he starts to feel like, he has to evolve the world in order for it to actually start changing and helping them. And I don't know, you could have Peter just be really smart, and then Connors takes a liking to that, and it's like, hey, what do you think about this formula? And Peter figures it out instantly, and they start working on it together. Like, not a lot would change if you remove them from the story. This movie also feels very tonally off. Like, the movie's trying to take itself really seriously, but it's also trying to be very comic book goofy. Like, it's very weird. Like, there are moments where you'll see Peter trying to find this guy that killed Uncle Ben, and he's trying to get his revenge. But the movie's trying to treat it as this inspirational moment where Peter's finally becoming Spider-Man, and it's so heroic. When it's just this guy is literally hunting down Uncle Ben's killer. And the only reason why he even ties them up in the first place is because he's just oh, well, I guess you're not him, but you're still committing a crime, so I'll tie you up anyways. What Peter's doing and the reason for doing it is not good. And the movie shouldn't be treating it as heroic. Even if this is the moment where he's trying to become Spider-Man, because even if he's trying to become Spider-Man in this moment, that shouldn't treat it as the heroicness of what it should be. In the Sam Raimi movies, they didn't treat Spider-Man going into that boxing ring like it was a heroic moment. They treated it as a goofy weird moment, because it was very goofy and weird for Peter to go to this boxing ring with this fucking costume and just be like, my name's the Human Spider. The movie didn't try to treat it like it was heroic, but it was only after Peter realized he should be using his powers for good where he dons the costume and starts doing good things with it. This movie doesn't do that and hops right in to Peter trying to find the killer for Uncle Ben, but is also tying up these villains. But the movie is treating what he's doing as heroic, when it's just the opposite of that when you actually pay attention to what's happening within the movie. It just doesn't match the tone. Another thing I really hated was just Spider-Man's costume. It looks so ass. It's so bad. I don't understand what went wrong. I don't like the colors, number one. The colors are way too dark and drab. And number two, the black lightning, which is supposed to be the webbing and the spider, you can barely even notice that it's a web that's just webbing around his body and a spider on there. Because the way the spider is done, it's dotted, and it's really hard to see what it's supposed to be on his chest. Plus, the fucking sunglasses, or just the tanned eyes, look really fucking dumb. I really do not like it. It's just going really wrong with the color scheme that they're trying to go for. It just does not look good. It looks like absolute shit. Overall, I thought The Amazing Spider-Man was just a mid movie. There's just, like I said, there was just nothing that really captivated me about it, and most of the things that were in it just kind of confused me about why it was like this. And some of the good things I did like, but it wasn't enough for me to like the movie and not make me think it wasn't just okay. And like I said, it could have been way better than what we got out of it, but it's just okay. And then next I get to watch The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Yeah. I haven't seen that movie in a while and everyone says it's bad. I really hope I have a different opinion from everybody else. But with all that being said, I am putting The Amazing Spider-Man in C tier. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, it would really help me out, and I'll talk to you all later. See ya!